Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today I am going through my least 10 valuable PlayStation 2 games. Are the games on the list going to be good games? Are they going to be bad games? Who knows? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Also, check out my other top 10, bottom 10, and unique 10 videos as well. Number 10 on my list is Super Bust a Move, coming in at just $5 Australian, $3.42 US, and £2.50 in the UK. I believe this is a launch title for the PlayStation 2, and the contention around this game was to do with the really bizarre cover, this baby on the cover, which I think put a lot of people off. I know back in the day it used to put me off buying this game, because why would I want to buy a game with this weird baby on the cover? And Super Bust a Move was kind of a throwback to the Super Nintendo and PlayStation era of where the game came from. So if you had a nice brand new PS2, not in the best condition, but you probably didn't want to be, number one, buying a game that had Super Nintendo graphics, and number two, buying a game with this weird baby on the cover as well. So if you're a fan of the Bust a Move series, really, it's pretty much the same. I also have this Bust a Move 2 Arcade Edition on the PS1, which is pretty funky, and also that I didn't know existed till I found it a few months ago is Bust a Move DS as well. So that's just a little extra there. Now, with these lowest 10 game lists as well, the prices fluctuate all the time, so I could probably do this video again in a month's time, and these bottom 10 games will probably be completely different. It's normally based on eBay sales and listings, so one or two listings a little bit higher jumps them out of the bottom 10. But anyway, number 10 is Super Bust a Move. Game 9 on my least 10 valuable PlayStation 2 games is Commandos 2, valued at $5 Australian, $3.42 in the US, and £2.50. Now, I've kind of rounded these games to the nearest dollar to make it a little bit easier, but this game I didn't know a lot about until I gave it a little bit of a play. It's kind of a top-down, if you think of Red Alert and kind of early Fallout camera angle. I'll show you on the back, and plus you're seeing the footage as well. But you just play as just one person as much as I'd played it. And I can see this game has been traded in a whole bunch of times, so I didn't enjoy it very much, so I can see why it's hit the bargain bin. Look at all these pre-owned stickers on here as well. But let's have a little look at the disc. Not much to show you for the instructions because I don't have them. But let me know in the comments below if you've played Commandos 2. Really an absolute dud of this list. You don't need to go out of your way to pick up and play Commandos 2, Men of Courage. My 8th least valuable PlayStation 2 game is SingStar Party, valued at just $4 Australian, $2.74 US, and £2 in the UK. You could probably add a whole bunch of SingStar games to this list. There's so many of them, dozens and dozens and dozens, but the one that's coming in valued the least at the moment is SingStar Party, and I had a really good little sing-along with my SingStar microphones here, which do take up a lot of room, but gave that a go. Could do a duet if anyone's keen to come and do a Crabman SingStar duet. But I'm just going to show you how many of these games that I do have, and honestly, most of them were just a few dollars. There's a few quite rare ones that do go for $15, $20, $30, but really for the most part, they're pretty cheap, under $5. So I have SingStar Rocks, SingStar R&B, SingStar Queen, SingStar Pop Hits as we're getting closer to the camera, SingStar Pop, SingStar Motown, SingStar Hottest Hits, SingStar Anthems, let's slide those out the way, SingStar ABBA, SingStar 90s, SingStar 80s, the original SingStar on its own. Actually, this one's a favourite of mine, SingStar Sing Along with Disney, and I believe this is part of the same series, but maybe Disney Sing It Pop Hits. So there were so many games. I got to rescue SingStar back there. that you can play. So now I assume they just have the one game and you just download everything, but back in the PS2 era you couldn't really download any extra songs really until Guitar Hero on the PS3 came along. Let's have a little flick through the book. I mean, not super exciting. You can listen to me singing along out of key. But if you want SingStar, and I mean, I think I got the microphone and a special PS3 SingStar box for like $20, so probably tracking down the microphone is the hardest thing to do here for SingStar, but a little bit easier than Guitar Hero, because for the SingStar, even on PS2 and PS3, it's the same. It's just an all-in-one USB connection. It's not that Guitar Hero dongle that most people have lost. My 7th least valuable PlayStation 2 game is FIFA 2004, coming in at $4 Australian, $2.74 US, and 2 Great British pounds. Now, I didn't even pay $4 for this game. I've picked this up from a cashier's for the massive price of 10 cents. And look how many stickers are on here. They must have been trying to flog this game off for ages. Now, if you are a collector, it is worth picking up old sports games. They still play beautifully. It's just, if you have FIFA 24 or FC Football or 20 or 21, really, apart from a bit of a nostalgia hit, there's no real reason to go back and play these. But the good news is they are cheap to collect as well. So here's my FIFA 2004 disc. I remember playing this a lot. It's probably the last FIFA I played until I switched myself over to PES as well. And I do have lots of these FIFA games. There's FIFA 2004, but the first one that came out pretty early on in the life cycle was FIFA 2001, FIFA 2002, FIFA 2003, I'll slide those out of the way, FIFA 2004 we've seen. I must have got this one at the same time. FIFA 2005, a whopping 20 cents, a big hit to my budget. FIFA 06, that's where they got rid of the 2000s and just started having 06. FIFA 07, Ronaldinho was featured a lot around this time. He's there with Rooney as well. Now by this time they've gone to the PlayStation 3, so some of these ones are a little bit rarer. FIFA 9, FIFA 10, $5 I picked that up for. FIFA 11, and I think there's 12 and 13 and perhaps even 14, but I think FIFA 14 is about a $70 game. And also this FIFA Street series, I've got 1 and 2, and I believe FIFA Street 3 is on the PS3. My 6th least valuable PlayStation 2 game is iToy Play 2, and you will need the PlayStation 2 iToy to play this game as well. Now sadly, the iToy PS2 version doesn't work on the PS3, so I had to track down a camera for that to play a game I was looking for. But here we have 2, and really these are interchangeable with 1 and 3. This is valued at just $4 Australian, $2.74 US, and £2 in the UK. Honestly, you can probably find it cheaper as well. If you go into thrift stores or op shops, they tend not to have games. What they'll have is a Wii Fit and really iToys and kind of stuff that most people don't really want anymore. But I gave this a little go. I never really had this back in the day. I just had a friend and I played it around their house a little bit. But here's iToy Play 2. Before I look through the manual and the disc, I do have the original iToy Play, which is pretty cool when it came out. There's some cool stuff there. 12 crazy games. iToy 3, which I believe came in as a really cool orange cover. I'm a real big fan of switching out the blue. Maybe someone just put this in an alternate cover. Let me know if all of the iToy 3 came with this cool orange cover, but maybe not. And for some reason I have iToy Play Pom Pom Party as well. Don't ask me why. Maybe I got it in a bundle. Maybe I bought it myself, I can't remember. But iToy Play 2, we can check out the games. You can see me strumming along to some music. Let's have a quick flick through the manual. You get a special, oh look, iToy Collection. Let's have a little look at this. Maybe this is all the games. Oh, there we go. iToy, so there's Groove. I haven't really seen that one around very much. iToy Chat. The broadband communicator. There is a blast from the past. It's kind of like an iToy version of MSN Messenger. Harry Potter, that's definitely not iToy. Disney Move, there's one do I have that or not? Let me have a quick scan of the shelf. I don't think I do. I've got some other Disney games. Disney Stitch, Disney's Donald Duck, but not Disney Move. That's one I haven't really seen around. There's SingStar and Sega Superstars and Tony Hawk, so that's actually pretty cool. And then there's the iToy Play 2 thing here as well, the manual. So you can see how to play it. As you can see me playing very badly, trying not to get my big head in the frame. You don't need to see that, no one needs to see that. Alright, moving on from iToy. But if you had an iToy, let me know down in the comments below what was your favourite iToy game. My 5th least valuable PlayStation 2 game is The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. A definite mouthful to say, valued at $4 Australian, $2.74 US and £2. I did round it to the nearest dollar just to make my life easier, and also the price fluctuates a lot as well, so this might be $4 today, it might be $6 in a month, it might be $3 the month after, so take these with a little bit of a pinch of salt. They're just fun lists. But one of my favourite books as a kid, this is the one that I read. I got it off my shelf, but if you haven't read the original series, I had this 7-book series, and there's some debate whether the books go in order. I'm getting sidetracked, but I like it whether they go in reading order or they go in release order, because The Magician's Nephew was not released first, it was released a little bit later. And also The Horse and His Boy is a bit of a side story with the kids from The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe when they're a little bit older. I'll try not to spoil it for you if you haven't read it. And the last battle is just all kinds of weird, but this came in this cool 7-book set. Little sidebar. But if you haven't read the full 7, it's definitely worth it. They're not super long books. But anyway, a lot of licensed games were coming out at this time on the PlayStation 2, generally of pretty mediocre quality. I never remember really buying that many of them back in the day. I do remember getting Van Helsing for Christmas and thinking, oh, okay, out of all the PlayStation 2 games that I could get for Christmas, I was gifted Van Helsing, so I gave it my best go. But there's some movies that have come out as well. There's the original series, the original BBC series as well, which, you know, here I have on VHS, 50 whole cents. This cost me. So if you've ever seen this original BBC series, that's just hilarious. Look at the graphics going there. Aslan's looking amazing. But also, it did get remastered, but I think they only did Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe and maybe Prince Caspian. They only did 2 films, I think, from memory. But there's the Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, there's the back cover. Let's have a little flick through the manual while you're checking out some awesome footage of the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe game. Let me move that out of the way. Let's get a little bit in the way. This was okay. We got Peter, Susan, Edmund and Lucy. Treks through their adventures going to Narnia. So yeah, probably a cheap game if you want to pick this up. There it is, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. My 4th least valuable game on the PlayStation 2 is This Is Soccer 2004, valued at $4 Australian, $2.74 US and just £2 in the UK. I'm sure you can pick versions of these up at CEX for 50p or something extremely cheap as well. Now, interestingly about this game is it's called This Is Soccer in Australia and New Zealand, and I believe in the US, but in the UK, if you were to get this game, I've got 2003 here, it's called This Is Football. So instead of just calling it football, not to get confused with Australian rules football or American football, this is my awesome 50-cent copy here. They must have had a lot of soccer football games on clearance that day at Cash Converters. But this is the kind of a time where there was an alternate, I can't even say it, there was an alternative to FIFA and to PES. So now we're really just dominated by FIFA and PES. But in the PS1 era, there were so many games, and I can't even think of them all off the top of my head, but Onside Soccer, Ronaldo Soccer, there was like David Beckham Soccer, and even on the PS2, and even a little bit early on the PS3, there was like Pure Football. There was a couple of games floating around as well, but it's an okay soccer game. Is it as good as PES? No. Is it as good as FIFA? No. So I don't really know where your market is to be the third soccer game out of 3 in the market, but solid effort, but it's kind of, you're always going to be third place as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed my footage as I'm playing through USB headset when playing online. You could play this online, so actually something I didn't notice in this game. Let's look at 2003. There's nothing here, but if you look at 2004, we're into network play. I remember Xbox releasing early on with Xbox Live, and PlayStation took a little bit of time to catch up there. So if you see these ones, you could play online. I never had my PlayStation 2 online. I don't know if you ever did watching. You never really appealed to me. It still really kind of doesn't online games. I'm still a single player kind of guy. So pretty, to be honest, pretty boring booklet just full of white text on black. So pretty boring. But if you ever played any of the alternate soccer games or football games, let me know, especially PS1, PS2 era. I have a feeling there's a few more that I've forgotten about as well. But that is my 4th least valuable game. My 3rd least valuable PlayStation 2 game is Happy Feet. It's valued at $4 Australian, $2.74 US, and just 2 Great British pounds. Again, this was the era of the licensed movie game, spitting out a mediocre 5 or 6 out of 10 game and saying, yep, that'll do, cough over your money. So you do have Happy Feet, a very popular film at the time, and this game just features a collection of mini games. So you got Sliding Down the Hill, and the one that I've played for you, a little bit of a music game there as well. But step into Mumble's Happy Feet as you belly sled dance and swim through Antarctica on an amazing adventure. So I'm going to say not a very challenging game if you've played it. I kind of like the cover though. The cover's pretty appealing. Really, that's probably about all it's got going for it though, but we can check out the instruction booklet as you're checking out me playing the game as well. Oh, look at all these. The story based on Warner Brothers Pictures comedy adventure Happy Feet. We've got Toddler Mumble, Gloria, and the Adeli Amigos. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. I've probably butchered that, probably savaging me in your own head. But yeah, I do like this booklet way better than the This Is Soccer booklet, which was just black and white. Obviously a game aimed at kids. If you're desperate to play this, I'm sure you can pick this up for next to no money. I don't see this really being a problem, but you know, we've got 2 games to go, and I'm going to give you a little hint. There's no more FIFAs. It's 2 very, very different and unusual games as well. So we have 2 games left. If you haven't flicked a like down the bottom, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't written me a comment, please do so very quickly. Now, my second least valuable PlayStation 2 game is Carol Vorderman's Sudoku, valued at just $3 Australian, $2 US, and £1.50 in the UK. If anyone has the audacity to charge £1.50 for this, just say no. I'm not sure anyone outside of the UK are probably going to know who Carol Vorderman is, but she was on a show called Countdown, where there was letters and you had to make words, and then she would always do the number challenge as well. I think Rachel Riley does it now, but Carol Vorderman did that for a long, long time. You would get a number on the screen. You'd get like 2 big numbers, like 25 and 50, and then you get small, like 4 single-digit numbers, like 1, 7, 3, and 2, and you'd have to try and solve a sum. It'd have like 872, and Carol Vorderman could solve that all the time. I didn't know that she was big into Sudoku. And really, out of the 10 games I played on this list, this was by far the worst, the most horrible, the most boring, the one with the least merit. The one who I thought, who's putting out this game? I think it's put out by Explosive, which I think did like the Cricket Captain series, which I love. But gee, this is really scraping the bottom of the barrel. I have like 50 Phoenix games on my shelf, and honestly, I think I've enjoyed every Phoenix game more than this. This is probably my least favorite game that I've played on the PS2. It's boring. Even if you're into Sudoku, I don't know why this would be your go-to to play Sudoku. So join Carol Vorderman. I mean, really, if we had some sort of countdown game, I would have been into that. Like if you had the 9 letters and consonants down the bottom, or not letters, but consonants and vowels down the bottom, and you had to make words out of that, a countdown game would have been great. A Sudoku game just boggles the mind how this exists. So why did I buy it? I found it at an op shop. It was like $3. It's weird, it's unusual, it's terrible. Sometimes I like collecting terrible games. Do I ever want to play it again? No! So hopefully I even have enough footage to show you, because I turned it off pretty quick. But join Carol Vorderman, our ultimate Sudoku expert, and let her guide you through an interactive puzzle experience with over 30 minutes of advice from Carol in the form of a live action video. To be fair, that's probably the best bit. Conquer the game that has driven the world to distraction. Yeah, not anymore. Do you have what it takes to become a Sudoku master? Yeah, honestly, horrible. Let's check it out. There's, oh yeah, look, $3. So I must have bought 3 things here from the thrift store or the op shop. It's not a big booklet, that's all I'm saying. It's going to move that out of the way. When it's open, it keeps hitting me. Oh look, 6 whole pages of booklets. Pretty gross in here too. I haven't opened this up. I thought that was what it was supposed to be like. I need to maybe... Oh, look, what is that? It looks like blood. It's so gross. I think I need to wash my hands after... Oh no, what is that? Oh, there's something there. Oh, that is... I don't even know what that is. Oh, that is so gross. Oh no, he's had a bad game. That's disgusting. Maybe they should have checked that. Oh, I'm never opening that again. Actually, do you know what it is? I think it's just the staples have rusted. Okay, I feel a little bit better. The staples have rusted. Okay, so that wasn't blood, and that wasn't whatever else you want to imagine in your head. So rusty staple, a lot better, but horrible game, horribly rusted staples, and we're down to our number 1. And my least valuable PlayStation 2 game out of 486 PS2 games is, quite strangely, it's Let's Make a Soccer Team, coming in at just $3 Australian, $2 US, and £1.50 in the UK. Now, I was so surprised when this kind of soccer football management game was bottom of my list. Out of 486 games, I've got Phoenix games that are terrible. I've got every FIFA. I thought it might be like FIFA 2002. I've got every PES. I've got cricket. I've got things like alpine skiing. I've got Alvin and the Chipmunks. I've got all kinds of, to be honest, pretty horrible PS2 games. Hurdy-gurdy. And the game that was the lowest, Lassie on PS2. But this game, Let's Make a Soccer Team, was actually the lowest ranked game of all. And basically, it's like any soccer football management game. I've got a couple of others here to show you. Things like Premier Manager 2005-06. You know, something like that could have been bottom. Who remembers the LMA Manager series? I've got quite a few of those as well. Just I love LMA Manager. This game actually has a really niche cult following as well. Let's Make a Soccer Team. Now, when I played this for this video, I actually got a little bit hooked into it. I played it for about 20-25 minutes. I was really trying to turn the game off, and I just kept playing and playing and playing. You get kind of given a football club to manage. You've got to manage all your finances, your team, hire some assistants. So just create your very own football club. You name it and you run it. So I think I've named my own team. on and off the pitch, every aspect is under your control. I think people still play this today as well. There's like a niche following, a couple of forums still floating around as well. You get to be the chairman and the manager, which is amazing. You kind of take on the leagues in Europe. I think, obviously, I chose a team in England, but there's Italy, Spain, Holland, Germany and France as well. You can talk to your players a bit like Football Manager that most people would have played. If you're into football games, it's the pinnacle. I used to play Football Manager a lot, probably haven't played it since 2016, but I did used to play that. And I bought this game for just $2.10. I thought this game looked really cool. I'd seen it before, but I'd never got around to buying it. And when it was $2, I didn't realise it was going to be my lowest valued game out of basically 500 PS2 games, but here it is. But I think for being a game, I think it got ratings, reviews of about 7 out of 10 as well, which is okay for a niche soccer management game as well. They normally don't rate pretty highly. I remember one time one of the Football Managers got really savaged, I think by an American reviewer, and it got like 3 or 4 out of 10 when normally Football Manager was getting Metacritics of like 80 or 90, 80 to like early 90s. And someone gave it like 3 out of 10. I'll have to try and track down that review. And then they later admitted they just didn't really get soccer, so gave it a really low score. It's like, no, the graphics are terrible, the sound's terrible, like I just don't get it. But I had a good time playing this through, and it really reminds me when the game is going on as well, like the little circles for your players. It reminds me of Football Manager around the kind of 2005-6 era. I think it was either 7 or 8 where the 3D engine finally came in, but it's kind of weird because I remember Football Manager 98 on the PS1 and Player Manager 98, no, not Player Manager because you can get to play, but a Football Manager game where it was 3D, and that was back in 98, but maybe it just made it a little bit better. But a very comprehensive booklet as well. Look at all these parameters. Look at all the effort they put into this game, and as well, all this effort just to be worth like $3 now. And it's not a spin-off, so sometimes you'll get series like LMA Manager, but there was 10 of them, so really it was the same game over and over again. And even Pro Evo came up with their own management version, and I think FIFA did, but they embedded it within the FIFA game. So I don't think FIFA had a standalone management game, but I could be wrong, just thinking off the top of my head. Oh, Virtua Pro Football. I'd like to see, oh, I do have that. I looked on the shelf. I was going to get some more soccer games out when I had the FIFA games out, but yeah, so maybe it's part of this series as well. So it's Virtua Pro, but they made a management game as well, made by Sega. But anyway, I hope you did enjoy the video. This was my 10 least valuable PlayStation 2 games. I have the feeling this will get watched a lot more than my 10 most valuable games because people are so morbid. They want to see my stuff that's worth nothing, not my stuff that's worth heaps of money. If you did enjoy this video as well, I've got a top 10, bottom 10 and unique 10 for the PS4, 3 and 2. And if these do pretty well, I might do some for the PS1, the GameCube, the Xbox, the 360, the original Xbox. I've got lots and lots, 3,000 games here in the game room, so lots to choose from. So if you do enjoy it, let me know and I can make some more. But otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today I'm going through my 10 least valuable PlayStation 3 games. I also have my 10 most valuable games list and my 10 unique PlayStation 3 games list. However, I'm sure people out there are very curious to see, out of my 372 PlayStation 3 games, which are my least valuable of all. Game number 10 on my list is Ashes Cricket 2009, valued at $5 Australian dollars, $3.33 US, and £2.50. Now this is the Australian PAL copy featuring, it's not Ricky Ponting, but a unknown cricketer on the front, and I love this game so much. This is a game I played time and time and time again. Ricky Ponting cricket was very popular on the PlayStation 2. But if you're looking for still a pretty good cricket game, this is the one for you. I know people, if you're watching this in the US, you probably don't have cricket games in the US, but there were two other games on PS3 that were really good as well. The first one here being International Cricket 2010, that was the follow-up, and that was a little bit better, and we do have Ricky Ponting on the cover. That'll set you back about $9 or $10, so a little bit of an upgrade, but the best game on the system is Don Bradman Cricket 2014, released right at the end of the PS3 lifespan, and it was also ported to PS4. So the cheapest game is Ashes Cricket, great game. 2010 is good as well. 2014 is the best one. That is game number 10. My 9th least valuable game is FIFA 13. Now you might be thinking to yourself, is this list going to contain a lot of FIFA? Well, probably. You're going to have to find out and see. FIFA 13 was the last game released on the PS3 before the move to PS4 in 2013, at the end of 2013. So they did have FIFA 14, 15, 16 on the PS3 as well, but this game is valued at just $4 Australian dollars, $2.66 US, and £2. If you go to CEX, I'm sure you can pick this up for maybe less than £1 if it's still floating around. Now I did really like this game, and you can see I picked it up for $50, and that was back at Christmas time in 2013. These games usually release in October. Hope you're enjoying the footage as well, but there's the game disc if it's been a long time since. You are more than welcome to use my online pass to access the online gameplay, which has been shut down a long time ago. Got some little booklets in here and the FIFA Interactive World Cup 2013. So more important, oh look, we've got our former winners here from the USA, Portugal and Spain. I wonder if this is still going, back in the kind of early days of esports as well. So I enjoyed this game a lot. I think I have most of the trophies. I picked this up looking at my receipt, 27th of the 12th, 2012. So obviously my Christmas presents weren't enough, or I got a voucher, and I decided to splurge on FIFA 13 once it was down to $50. Game number 8 on my list, my 8th least valuable game, is FIFA 12, also coming in at $4 Australian, $2.66 US, and just £2 in the UK. Again, I'm sure you can find it cheaper. The reason these games are so cheap is they just made so many of them. And the games are pretty similar year to year. I don't know about you, but I've kind of fallen off the FIFA and PES bandwagon. Now it's FC football and eFootball. It's just used to be something I played a lot. I did play soccer, football games quite a bit. Not so much these days. So in the PS3 era, I did play them quite a lot. So here's our FIFA 12 disc, if you haven't seen that for a while and enjoy the footage going at the same time. Again, feel free to use my online pass. I never really played online. I'm not a person who plays a lot online. FIFA Street, I do have that as well. I should have grabbed that off the shelf to show you. I did not. We've got, remember when games came with little booklets? This is actually a full booklet, so pretty interesting while you're watching. Now, I always have to play with square as the shoot button because I played a lot of PES on the PS2 and I can never wrap my head around swapping it over. So for me, square is always shoot and circle is always cross. So that is some FIFA 12. You know, is there some more FIFA coming? There's Rooney. If you saw, whenever this video comes out, but if you saw Rooney's Legends goal for Manchester United, that's pretty awesome in the top corner. We have Timmy Cahill, the Australian here, Rooney, and I believe that's Kaká, but if I'm wrong, you know, roast me in the comments below. But that was game number 8. Game number 7 on my list is FIFA 09. I promise it's not all FIFA. But FIFA 09 takes the 7th spot as my least valuable game. $4 Australian, $2.66 US, and £2. Now, there were a few cents thrown away, but I've just rounded it to the nearest Australian dollar to make my life a little bit easier. But we've got Rooney and Ronaldinho on the cover. Again, if I get any of the players wrong, I'm so sorry, and tell me in the comments, but pretty sure we got Rooney and Ronaldinho there. You know, this game is 15 years old now. Let's FIFA 09, custom team tactics. Become a first team coach with the power to tune and balance 140 attacking and 40 defensive options. True football simulation, more responsive first time shooting. Adidas Live Season, I remember that was kind of starting around this time, around the kind of FIFA 6, 7, 8 era that we're starting to have more online features. And the Beer Pro mode, I kind of liked that. I remember making myself and having a really good career in FIFA 10. So there's the disc. If it's been a while since you have seen the disc, probably shouldn't slide the disc around, but had a couple of dollars for this game. I'm not too stressed about it. The FIFA Interactive World Cup. So 15 years ago, you might not even know this, but FIFA were having an Interactive World Cup on PS3. You can represent your country. Register now. Oh, nothing on the back. Interesting to see what's in. Now, I had FIFA 12 and I said that I quite liked the book. But in FIFA 9, you get a full old school book here. So I'm not sure when the books went away. FIFA 12 didn't have it had a book, but not a great book. I remember, you know, we just used to love game manuals. So the good thing is we can go through the game manual while you are hopefully seeing me score in the footage that I captured. I remember I'm not going to lie, I turned the difficulty down a little bit just so I could get a few goals on the board. And I think England versus USA is pumping away. I wonder if Landon Donovan's got a goal. But used to follow the England team quite a lot at that time. I like these are the moves that you could do as well using the R3 and L3 analog sticks. It's got the full, more top spin. I could never master free kicks. I don't know about you, but I've always been terrible at free kicks in FIFA. I don't know if there was a special knack to it. I could do them in training, and then when it got to a game, I'm not sure if I ever scored a free kick in playing through a firewall. Gee, we're talking about 2000s internet technology here, having to go through your firewall and your router. You might call it a router where you live, but in Australia a router is something completely different. So it's a router here in the great old land of Oz. But here is FIFA 19. My sixth least valuable game on PlayStation 3 is Mirror's Edge. And for some reason, this game comes in at just $3 Australian, $2 US, and just £1.50 in the UK. I just can't believe that's right, but I think they produced a lot of copies of this game, Mirror's Edge. It is a kind of parkour game, one of the first games in this style. Kind of simplistic, you have to follow the kind of red in the levels. And a story about this game is I remember there used to be a store in Australia called Game. There was EB Games and Game had so many copies of this game, and it was $100, and then one day it was just reduced from $100 straight down to $8 only, and it was probably a month after release. So I jumped in, bought it for $8. You can check my Crabman Gaming PlayStation Network profile, look at my trophies. 2010 I got a lot of trophies for this game. I didn't play it all the way through, but I did enjoy it as well, and for $8, what a bargain. So I think maybe they thought they were going to sell more copies, but in Australia at any rate there was a lot of copies, and now it's only worth $3, but it's a great game to pick up for $3. There's no looking back in a city where information is heavily monitored, where crime is just a memory, where most people sacrifice freedom for a comfortable life. Some choose to live differently. They communicate using messages called runners. You are a runner called Faith. Murder has come to this perfect city, and now you are being hunted. You're kind of encouraged to play like a pacifist playthrough, a bit like a game I've forgotten, but it'll come back to me as well. So you can get guns and shoot people, but you're not really supposed to. Alright, there's the disc, and you get a full booklet because we're still in 2008. It's really going to bug me. It's like an RPG that you play. You're supposed to play the pacifist route, and it will probably come back to me about five games later. So here's our Mirror's Edge booklet while you're checking out the footage. Got playing the game. The edge is where you'll find out who you really are. And I like this, you used to get some information as well that now you kind of have to look at online. I'm just going to move that out of the way, it's a little bit in the way. So yeah, this is how you navigate the city. Got moves, like how to do things, like rolling, all your parkour skills. Just kind of when parkour was coming into the mainstream a little bit more as well. I remember John Morrison in WWE, he was big into parkour as well at the time and used to incorporate that into his matches. If you're a wrestling fan, which I am, if you've checked out the channel, because there is lots and lots of wrestling out there as well. So this is game number 6. This is my 6th least valuable game. They did release a sequel on the PS4. That's called Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's always discounted on PlayStation Network. Not gonna lie, haven't played Mirror's Edge Catalyst, but I did play Mirror's Edge. My 5th least valuable PlayStation 3 game is FIFA 10. Yes, we are back into FIFA once more, and we've got Rooney and we've got Tim Cahill on the cover on the Australian version when he used to play for Everton, before he went to play for a few other clubs as well. Now, this was a version I didn't actually pick up at the time. When you see my receipt, I actually picked up a couple of years later, but let's FIFA 10. I think I had FIFA 9 and then I bought FIFA 11, so I kind of skipped a year sometimes when I didn't have heaps of money for games, that I would have to be a little bit picky and choosy about what I was getting. So we got FIFA 10. There's the awesome FIFA 10 disc. I'll spin it around. Now this is valued, I didn't tell you, but valued again at $3, $2 US and £1.50 in the UK. Again, can probably find it cheaper, but here's my receipt, just $5, but I picked it up in 2012. So as you can see, even 2 years later, these games are down to next to nothing to pick up. And I'm a sucker for a cheap game. That's probably why I have 3,000 games on my game shelf. But you still get a cool booklet. Let's FIFA 10. We've got the code. Again, use my code. And the World Cup is back once again. Play your part. All expenses paid trip to the grand final. So that looks pretty exciting. Let's have a little flick through the manual. A little bit bent. Doesn't matter, it was $5 12 years ago. It's nice to have a little look through these manuals as England versus USA is playing out before your eyes. Hopefully I've scored a goal. Can't remember since I've captured it how I went in each game. You get a little bit of FIFA. I do like the moves are in here as well. I never quite mastered the moves. I do the spin a lot. The spin is one I would do quite a lot. Not really too much of these other tricks because I find the opposition would just take the ball off me. If you have a favourite FIFA game as well, post it down below. I haven't really played. I played a little bit of, I think, FC 24. What I did like was the dynamic difficulty, which I think should have been coming in for quite a while, which I like. If you start dominating 3 or 4-0, then the game can change the difficulty for you and make it better, which would be really good. Because sometimes in these games, if you set the difficulty too low, then you're just going to win like 10-0, and it's not really much of a challenge. So there's FIFA 10. There's the back, if you didn't get a good look at the back, if you haven't seen that for a little while. But that is my 5th lowest valued PlayStation 3 game. My 4th least valuable PlayStation 3 game is Battlefield 3, valued at $3 Australian, $2 US and £1.50 in the UK. And for some reason, I have 3 copies of this game. I don't really know why, all slight variants, but I really enjoyed having a little blast of this game and capturing the footage. I'm not really a big shooter person, but having a little playthrough, it's a high quality game, so if you can pick this up for honestly next to nothing, it is still worth a playthrough today, even just for the single player campaign. So I'll go through all 3 copies. I don't really know too much what the difference is, except the later ones will bundle with some DLC as well. So here's the original cover on the back. Winner of the best action game. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, I think the single player mode goes for about 5 or 6 hours, and that's good value for a couple of dollars today. And I know most people would buy these for the multiplayer. Call of Duty was huge at the time as well, especially Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, which I actually got into a little bit, considering I'm not really into shooters. But you can see the difference in these covers. It's more of a zoomed in version, and same for the other one, is pretty similar as well. So I'll see if I actually have the book. Now the backs are the same for these two, and then strangely for this other copy, the back is different, more of a here's all the DLC in one package, big re-release. So I do have an online pass, again, feel free to steal. And yeah, we saw this with FIFA 12, this EA booklet, which is just manual included on disc and online, where it's not really a manual. Stuff's getting in the way. It's just really all the legal information in a very plain white booklet, and then you get a little thing from BioWare about Mass Effect 3 and a gun club. Congratulations, you get a multiplayer pistol, which you used to get little bonuses for these games. And we'll just check out if there's anything different here in this premium edition. We've got a little link here for Crysis 3. Same little info booklet as before. Let's just check just before we finish. Are the discs all the same? I think so. There's one. Oh no, this one. Maybe this one isn't limited edition, because this one just says Battlefield 3. That one's got Battlefield 3 limited edition, and I assume, yeah, that just looks like the first copy there. So Battlefield 3, get on it, it's pretty good. My third least valuable PlayStation 3 game out of 372 is FIFA 11, valued at $3 Australian, $2 US, and £1.50 in the UK. And this seems to be a UK copy I've got, because it's got a 3 there instead of the Australian G. And we have Rooney and what looks to be Kaká on the back, playing for Real Madrid. Again, if I'm wrong, comment away. I promise though, this is the Crabman Gaming special promise. This is actually the last FIFA game on the list. So there are 2 games lower than this that aren't FIFA. Now I actually played FIFA 11 a lot, and I really liked FIFA 11. So it's the We Are 11 real player personality. You could be the goalkeeper. You could play full 11 on 11 online as well, which would just be madness, because no one would stay in their position. There'd be 10 strikers and a goalkeeper. And who'd want to be the goalkeeper in an 11 versus 11? That's just, you're just going to sit there. They'd be really bored. Career mode was good. I remember making myself a winger on this game, and I think I signed myself up to Man City and had a pretty cool career. I did enjoy the career mode as well. You could customize lots of stuff like normal, but does have all the leagues. Here's the disc. Now I must have rebought this, so I don't know what's happened to my original copy, because I'm sure I just had a regular Australian copy, but who knows what happened to that. But you get a full manual, so this must have been the last year of the full manual as well. I'm just going to move you out of the way. Let's have a little look at the manual, the controls. I like this because you could get the manual out and have a good look at the controls while you were playing and having to figure it all out. I think maybe after 12, was it 13 or 14? I think it was 14 when they started having the on-screen assists as well, that you could toggle on and off. Like, please correct me, but I think it was 14 once they started getting rid of these booklets that you could keep next to you. What's lounge mode? 20 players compete for bragging rights in offline multiplayer. 20 players? I don't remember that at all. I don't know if anyone's ever played that. Team play is always good. 21 other players. Select your position. That is just madness. Can you imagine playing like 22 player FIFA where everyone's on the field? That would just be insane. But this is my third least valuable game, and you might be thinking, what 2 games are going to be less valuable than a FIFA game? Because I've gone through FIFA 13, 12, 9, 10, and 11. There's actually 2 other games to feature. Now my second least valuable PlayStation 3 game, for some reason, and I cannot believe this at all, is a game called Pure, which is a quad bike racing game, and it is a really, really good game. This should be featured on so many hidden gems lists, and apparently it's worth just $3 Australian, $2 US, and £1.50 in the UK. You never quite know with the US territory as well. Your copies might be worth more than this, but here in Australia, this PAL copy apparently on price charting is just worth $3, which I can't believe, because it is just an amazing game. I played this so much. You ride your quad bike around. Reminds me a lot of the MotorStorm series. You do tricks as well, so it's kind of like MotorStorm meets SSX Tricky. And if you can track it down, if you haven't played it, definitely give it a go. There are a lot of games around this time, things like Mud, things like Nailed, that were a little bit similar as well. But let's check it out inside. It's a cool looking disc. I'm going to take the disc out because this background is really cool. It's just a nice bit of sky. And then we've got a full manual, and we've got one of the tricks there as well. Let's go through the Pure manual. Not the biggest manual, but pretty interesting there as well if you haven't seen it. Again, get around this game because this is a racing game that will probably take you a good 10 hours to get through the story mode. So we can preload some of your tricks as well. So I think you press down and then you kind of launch up a little bit like SSX Tricky, and then you build your boost through tricks. I played this quite a lot as well. If you check out my PSN, you probably should be able to find how many trophies I got for this game. I mean, if this game even has trophies, I actually don't know. So some of the early PS3 games didn't have trophies, and I think this was released about 2008, and it was made by BlackRock Studios. So they also released another hidden gem, which I'm going to show you a little bit more than $3, which is Split Second Velocity. So you might be familiar with that as well. I'll just flick you that really quick. This game goes for about $20 though, so it's not on the cheapest list, but I wanted to show you same developer, Pure, and Split Second, more of a racing game. But Pure, my second least valuable game on PlayStation 3. Now the time has come, we've come to the big one, which is my least valuable PlayStation 3 game out of 372 games, and it is Sports Champions, valued at $3 Australian, $2 US, and £1.50 in the UK. There was a bit of change involved, but this was ranked the lowest on price charting. Sports Champions. There's actually a Sports Champions 2 as well, and this is a move game, so you will need your move wands. Anything I don't like about the move is that every time these babies are flat, every time I want to play, and you've got to charge it up with 2 different charges, and make sure your controller's charged, and make sure it's all good to go. So you need the PlayStation Move. You also need, which I didn't have, the PlayStation Eye. So I had to track down the Eye because I had a PlayStation 2 Eye and I had a PlayStation 4 Eye, but I didn't have a 3 Eye. So I haven't been able to capture any footage yet, but when you're watching this video, well, I have probably opened up the Eye and captured some interesting footage for you, hopefully not of Crabman's face here as well. So all you could load up is the kind of title screen, and then it says, please connect your Eye, which I didn't have. So I think this game is pretty mediocre. Most of the other games on the list, they're actually pretty good because they sold a lot of copies, like your FIFAs, your Mirror's Edge, your Battlefield, Pure. I'd say this is probably the only game on the list that's under a 7 out of 10, so probably more maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10. But, you know, I haven't played it, so I can't tell you. When I capture a bit, maybe I can let you know a bit later. If you've played it, let me know. And apparently it was good enough to get a sequel. So the Ultimate Sports compilations, kind of when PlayStation decided, hey, guess what? Let's compete with the Wii. Let's do some motion controls. Xbox did the Kinect. Both were pretty mediocre. The kind of good news about the wands is that they could be repurposed for the PSVR. So that was pretty good, but I don't really think I've played many of these VR games. And you used to have this stick as well. So I actually bought these for the VR. So I didn't have a Move before that. But the original one did kind of have this movement device as well. And you could get the little gun. So they had some ideas. They wanted to bring back the light gun games. I just don't think they were ever executed super well. So they also made, this developer, before you head off, they also made Little Big Planet karting as well, which you may not know. They didn't make the Little Big Planet games, they just made Little Big Planet karting. So that was a little bonus there for you. So anyway, this has been Crabman from Crabman Gaming, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, flick a quick like down the bottom, subscribe, like the video, do all of the above things. Check out all my other playlists, because I am going through my most valuable, my least valuable, unique games for the PS4, 3, 2, 1, Vita, and anything else if I get time as well. So until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today I am going through my top 10 least valuable PlayStation 4 games out of the 377 physical games that I own. This is part of a series of the most valuable, least valuable, and unique 10 games of the PS4, 3, 2, 1, and Vita. So if you enjoy this video, check out the others as well. Now, my prices are taken from pricecharting.com, and like anything, are very subjective and do fluctuate all of the time. I will put up the Australian price, as these games are from the Australian PAL region, but I'll also put up a US conversion and a British pounds conversion as well. So my very first game on the list, number 10, is Madden 16. There has been a growing interest in American football here in Australia over the past few years, and now people do hold Super Bowl parties. So I would say almost all of the older Madden games would be very, very cheap. This game comes in at $5 Australian, $3.40 US, and just £2.60. I'm sure you can pick this up for very, very cheap if you do want Madden 16. But if you're into Madden, you probably have the latest Madden, as they do release this every year. Very popular in the US, so I picked this up probably for very little money, as I'm not really an American football fan. Sorry, Americans that are watching. And it looks like Madden tried their own version of FIFA Ultimate Team as well. So sit back and enjoy a little bit of footage. Your draft, your fantasy. Be the playmaker in Madden NFL 16, from the draft room to the gridiron. Experience draft champions, a new fast-paced and repeatable way to play where you'll draft your fantasy team of NFL superstars and legends, then take them to the field for the absolute test. We've got here Battle for Supremacy, a brand new way to play. That was number 10. Number 9 is the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited, which I believe you can still play today. I struggled to get my character on, and it did require some sort of vast 150 gigabyte download just to capture a little bit of footage from the game. This game is valued at $5 Australian, $3.40 US, £2.60, although you could probably pick it up for less than that. I still feel a little bit aggrieved because I dropped $40 buying this game, and I didn't really like it as much as the other Elder Scroll games. Online gaming, not really for me, but I wanted to give it a go, so I only got up to about level 4 with my character. But the fight for Tamriel begins. 3 alliances vie for control of the Empire as these powers battle for supremacy. Darker forces move to destroy the world. Play the way you like. Battlecraft, fish, steal, siege, or explore. So I kind of felt like I could do that in Skyrim, except there was lots of people in my way. Adventure alone, quest with friends, or join an army of thousands. See, I probably should have just played alone a little bit more. Tell your own story, discover the secrets of Tamriel, and there are quite a few expansions for the Elder Scrolls Online as well. So I was excited for it. I didn't buy it on launch, but I found it I think secondhand for $40, so I jumped on it, and probably it wasn't really worth it for me. But I did like that there was no subscription, so that was a key selling point. So got my bonus content Explorers pack. May as well let you have a look at it. I'm sure I've used it or someone's used it already. And you get a tiny little book which really just tells you about the controls. So I'm sure, even though I've said this game is $5, I'm sure you can pick it up for even less than that. Number 8 on the list is FIFA 19, valued at $5 Australian dollars, $3.40 US and £2.60. I bet you are waiting to see the emergence of FIFA games on this list. How many are on this list? You're going to have to wait to find out. There could be a couple, there might be some, there might be lots. And you can buy pretty much all the FIFA games on PS4 for a very, very cheap amount of money. What I do like about FIFA 19 though, is it is the culmination of the journey as well. Not much written on the back. The UEFA Champions League comes to FIFA 19, so that was, I think, a PES exclusive for quite a long time. Control the pitch with the new active touch system. FIFA Ultimate Team, the ultimate cash sink to put your money into, which I've never really been a big fan of. And what I was a huge fan of was the Journey Champions. So Alex Hunter, the dramatic finale of the Journey. I feel a little bit sad that they didn't continue the Journey. So FIFA 19 had, it was the third, FIFA 17 started the Journey. FIFA 18 continued the Journey, and FIFA 19 was the end of the Journey for the kind of JRPG. Link over, and I did buy this when it came out, $69. Not too bad for a day one release, which is probably when I got it. I can't see the date on here somewhere, but that'll do. We've got a couple of little booklets stating about Champions League, division rivals, squad battles. Ultimate Team's always there. Kick off your online season. I've never really been big on playing other people online. I'm a little bit of a solo gamer, but if you enjoy playing online, FIFA can be very, very competitive. So how much more FIFA will we see? Who knows? But I did enjoy the Journey a lot. So if you do want to pick up FIFAs for PS4, I would suggest 17, 18, 19. Number 7 on my list is Battlefield Hardline, valued at $5, $3.40 US and £2.60. This is the deluxe edition, which gets you 3 specialized battle packs and 10 gold battle packs. I think wanting you to play online as much as possible. MA rated here as well. Gee, not much on the back cover, but get a piece of the action. A visceral story on both sides of the law. And I did like when shooters had their own story mode as well. It didn't have to be 50 hours long like a JRPG, but as long as you got a couple of hours of a good story, that's what I kind of enjoyed more than the multiplayer. So it's a damn good shooter. This is Battlefield after all, and I really enjoyed playing through the start of this game. So this is a very, very cheap game. Again, I say $5, but you can probably get it for even cheaper. Battlefield 1 was also very cheap as well, just missed out on this list, along with things like Dishonored and Star Wars Battlefront. So it was a real tight battle to have my lowest rated, lowest valued games. Got the premium mode, and I think for a lot of these games they are really good. They just sold so many copies that their value didn't get held much at all. So if you did enjoy playing Battlefield Hardline back in the day, or Battlefield 1 or any Battlefield games, drop a comment below. Let me know what was your favorite shooter of the PS4 era.
Anyone you know?
Number 6 is FIFA 20, valued at $4 Australian, $2.70 US, and just £2.11 for FIFA 20. Again, could find it even cheaper, I reckon. Eden Hazard from Real Madrid on the front cover. Now, I felt a little bit sad at the end of the Journey and the fact that FIFA 20 wasn't going to have the Journey in it, so I did not pick this up straight away. I did buy 17, 18 and 19 upon release, but they did introduce Volta football, so break new ground from the streets to the stadium, and I actually quite liked Volta as well. It was pretty cool. It reminded me a lot of the indoor mode from FIFA 98. Those of you who are older than 14 watching this video might remember good old FIFA 98 indoor mode, which was pretty cool. FIFA 98 had everything, but you have 17,000 players, 30 official leagues. Ultimate Team is back, the good old money grabbing scenario here. So hopefully you're enjoying my running series of playing the US versus England. I tried to put those two teams on as those are where most of my viewers come from. And you can see from my receipt, I didn't get the game straight away. I kind of waited till January and it was $4.95, so I didn't even get it at the end of 2019. I waited a whole year to get FIFA 20. I was very sad at the end of there was no more journey. I loved that mode. FIFA 20 disc. What did you get in the case here? Kick off your online season. Big promotion for Ultimate Team like usual, and just a little bit of help there. So does FIFA 20 still play well? Absolutely. Is Volta still cool? Yes. Can you pick this up for next to no money? Yes. So, if you don't have any other FIFAs, pick it up. Number 5, it is FIFA 15 with a value of $4 Australian, $2.70 US, and £2.11p in the UK. You can probably pick it up for 10p. In all honesty, it's FIFA 15. Now, for some reason, I have the Ultimate Team Edition, which means I did not buy this upon release date. I had FIFA 14 on release when I first got a PS4, but FIFA 15 I didn't. And I know that because I would not have spent extra money to pick up the Ultimate Team Edition. But let's have a look on the back. Hopefully you are enjoying the highlights of the US versus England as well. The Ultimate Team includes 40 FIFA Ultimate Team gold packs and 40 weeks, and Messi as a lone player for 5 games, and a variety of EA Sports Football Club catalogue items. Yeah, I gave it a little go, but I just didn't like the predatory nature of Ultimate Team. I just like playing soccer games, and this is kind of pre-journey, but I still liked FIFA 15. But I played 14 a lot, so I really liked the graphics on 14. So I might talk about 14 if 14's on this list. It might be on here, it might not be. But I think having 14, I wasn't in a huge rush to buy 15, especially in an era where PS4 games were still really expensive in those first couple of years. I have 377 games now, but I think in my first 2 years of owning a PS4, I had about 10 to 12 games. I did not have a lot until that price started coming down. So enjoy the United States versus England, and if there's more FIFA, you'll see it again. Number 4 is Battleborn, coming in at $4 Australian, $2.70 US, and $2.11 Great British pounds, and a few pence there on the side from the creator of Borderlands. I remember these online battling games being very popular and kind of having a battle between each other. Now, sadly for these online games, if you notice down the bottom it says online only. Gameplay and functionality requires a subscription to PS Plus, so there's a lot of things in this game that are not going to endear it to longevity. And as I believe, as I tried to load up the game, the servers are no longer active, so you might just get the loading screen on the side, unless I can get some other footage at all. So really, all this game is to be a bit of a coaster or a decoration on your shelf, because you can't actually play the game, which is why I'm not a fan of online only games, where that is the only way you can play. There's no offline mode for every kind of badass. From the creators of Borderlands comes the next generation shooter, Save the Last Star. Choose your hero and fight alone or co-op along with friends in story missions. So you want to fight alone, I think it's just online only, so there's no offline component. 25 badass heroes. Battleborn has a deep roster of 25 playable heroes, and no two are the same. I'm not sure I would call 25 heroes a deep roster and play competitive, which you can't anymore. So let's have a little look inside. I'm sure I picked this up for next to no money, as it's not really something that I would be into, but I do like to add weird things to my collection. You get a firstborn pack. You do get a cool little book. This might be the coolest thing about owning Battleborn here, except it's just all legal information. And hey, 2K16. That was a really good game. So I thought that was a cool Battleborn book, and it wasn't. So, sorry Battleborn, you are actually pretty useless. Number 3 is Destiny, valued at $4 Australian, $2.70 US, £2.11 in the UK. It is the base edition of Destiny. I remember the hype being absolutely massive for this game when it came out. I downloaded the demo, I wanted to get amongst it, and then I didn't really play it that much to try and get it to work again today. It does work, unlike Battleborn, so it did take about a 70 or 80 gigabyte update to work, so it took a long time, but I was able to play some of the game, which was really cool, as you can see on the side. So I'm glad, even though it's very cheap and there's 500 expansions and the Taken King and Destiny 2 and all those things, that you can still put this game in and play it. So defeat our enemies, explore new worlds, become legend. Should be become a legend? Become legend. Okay, kind of weird grammar. From the creators of Halo and the company that brought you Call of Duty. Destiny is a next-generation first-person shooter with rich cinematic storytelling, set in huge worlds to explore, create and customize your guardian, defeat your enemies, become legend in intense, cooperative, competitive, and innovative public gameplay modes. I do like I could just play on my own, which was pretty good. So this is the Vanguard Armored Edition, early access to Vanguard weapons and gear. Let's check out the inside. Oh, my disc is somewhere else. Let's check out the inside. Here's the Destiny disc. Pretty simple, but it looks pretty good. And let's check out the little inserts here. Gear up day 1 for early access to weapons and gear in the Vanguard Armory. Well, someone can claim that, because look, it's only valid till 2015. I can't believe Destiny came out a decade ago. We get a 1-month trial. If anyone wants that, go for it. I'm sure that's not active anymore. And you do get the expansion pass here, 1 and 2. So I must have got this a little bit later, not on release day, but I remember the hype was massive. Okay, down to the final 2, and number 2 is FIFA 16, valued at just $3 Australian, $2.03 US, and £1.58. I'm sure if you go to CEX, it might be even cheaper than that. So continuing my run of FIFA, you get to check out the US versus England, unless it's one of the games with the journey. But really more of the same. I don't think FIFA 16 really innovated that much. So play beautiful, innovation across the entire pitch, compete at a higher level with FIFA Trainer, experience new ways to play, including 12 women's national teams. So maybe this was the first game that they had the women involved. As you can see on the front cover, we got Timmy Cahill, Messi, and I apologise, I don't know who that is from the Matildas. Normally it's all Sam Kerr nowadays. I've got my receipt in here, so when did I buy this? Hey, look, $10 off at Target. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, I must have bought this upon release day, as you can see my receipt, 24th of September 2015, $64. Now, in Australia, a little bit sidetracked, is the major retail brands like Target and Big W used to compete with the game stores and release day 1 games at $59 or $64, so that was always pretty cool, which is normally why I'd get day 1 releases from department stores as opposed to EB Games. Would be selling this for $100 and Target would be selling it for $64. So, and you'd ask to price match and they wouldn't always do it, so it was just easier to go to the department store. Hey, anyone wants that code? It's there. 15 FIFA Ultimate Team Gold Packs. Now, when you do play this game, all the online servers have been shut down. So I think, yeah, the inclusion of the women was the big innovation for 16, and then 17 started with the journey. And number 1 in my least valuable PS4 games, is it FIFA 14? No. Is it FIFA 17? No. I actually love FIFA 17 because it has the start of the journey. It is FIFA 18. That is my lowest ranked, least valuable PS4 game, valued at just $3 Australian, $2.03 US, and £1.58. FIFA 18 does have the middle block of the journey though, so well worth picking up. That 17 to 19 trilogy will give you hours and hours of fun, so you are enjoying some of my journey footage. And I picked this one up, not brand new, as you can see there's a little tag on there as well, but we've got the Frostbite engine, which is pretty exciting. Real player motion tech, all new animation. We've got FIFA Ultimate Team, because you know how else are they going to make their money? And the Journey Hunter returns now with a star-studded cast featuring Ronaldo, Griezmann, and more. And also, where's Gareth? His mate Gareth. There's the FIFA 18 disc. Inside, we've got some stuff they're always promoting, PS Plus. More stuff for... Get some pre-order bonuses, Ronaldo on loan, 8 special kits. And what I also have as well, as just a little bonus for you to have a look at, I've got my FIFA 18 copy, and I picked this up very, very, very cheap, but it was the FIFA 18 Steelbook, so a little bit of a bonus. I love trying to pick up Steelbooks, and a lot of time at places where I go to buy games, they'll value the Steelbook at the same price as FIFA 18, so I think I got this for a couple of dollars, but everything inside is the same. Really got the same bonuses, just in the really cool Steelbook. So there you have it, my least valuable PS4 games, my least valuable 10 out of 377 physical games. This is part of the most valuable, least valuable, and unique 10 game series. If you have enjoyed this video today, flick a quick like down the bottom, as capturing the footage took forever. Subscribe, you're absolutely awesome. And if you have a game you think is worth less than any of my games, please post it below. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.